So, this is supposed to be video number, uh, I mean, assembly number 18. That's what it's supposed to be. And in this, we're supposed to work with the back test tensioners. But I felt that if we do all this in one shot, it'll be easier. Now, that's where I bring in the rollers. Now, as we know, the rollers are the longest print and they take up the most filament. It's about, I think, 200 something grams they take. And this is with 10% infill and I think 2 walls, 3 top layers, and 3 bottom layers. And it's, yeah. So basically the way I designed it is that it has a, it's high in the middle and short on the side. Tapered is what it's called. It's tapered off. And the reason why is to keep the belt straight. Okay, so I printed upside down like this. I try to do no supports, but sometimes there is supports with an 8mm bore. So that's what it is. This is what it looks like. You have, well, when you're assembling it. So first what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your heat shrink wrap, you're gonna enclose it on this, and then you're gonna use a heat gun, and you're gonna go slowly going to heat up, and it's gonna grip itself to the roller like this, and it's gonna look very, very nice, but you got to be slow with it. If not, then you know it might cave in because too much heat to the part. Remember, this is PLA. Even if you use PETG, it's be the same. It's also the heaviest part in the printer, in my opinion. Okay, after that, you're going to put in your 8mm rod all the way in. This is for the back roller, that is. So I'm skipping ahead from 18. I'm going all the way to number 23 on the assembly guide. And these are the rollers that are 230 length, 70 diameter. That's what it's labeled as. And I'm going to go through it. Okay, so you put the flange, the 8mm flanges that you bought, 4 of them. So you put it in, you make sure that the grub screw hole lines up with the grub screw hole out here. And then you don't tighten the grub screw. You just make it loose, just make sure it sits in there. I use self-tapping screws because sometimes the holes get a little bit, skewed because of the printers making holes. Anyway, so I used, what's it called? Self-tapping screws. They are the same screws that you would use. I think they're M3, yeah, they're M4 by, let's see what they have here. M3 by 20 is what they used here. You could use same thing with self-tapping screws instead of regular bolts, metric bolts. And then you'll have the rod going through it, and then it'll look like such on both sides. You're going to have ready your bearings, your 608 bearings, right? You're gonna have these ready. Flush both sides, and this is what it looks like. Oops, let me just put this away. So yeah, flush both sides, 608 bearings. These are your rollers. You need 2 of them, both of them ready. Make sure that the rod is easier for you to move back and forth. So that's why you don't wanna tighten those grub screws just yet. This is the last thing we're gonna do on this printer is gonna tighten these grub screws. Okay, obviously I'm supposed to have, like it shows in the pictures, the X gantry attached here, but I want to show you at a better view, better angle without any obstructions how it's supposed to go. These are your tensioners. You're going to print them mirrored with the shorter side in, based off your rod length that you have. And you're going to do shorter side in, and that's fine. You're going to have 2 holes to tighten the tensioner, but in reality, you can't really go for the inside hole because the inside hole is not accessible to the human being trying to tighten it. So what I just put it there just in case. It's mirrored anyway. The other side though, the outer side, which is from this side, you're able to access. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a T-nut. I think the best thing to use is one of these. It's just the hammerhead T-nuts, I guess they're called. And pretty much I'm gonna preset it like I did the other parts. Presetting, obviously not tightening it, just to make sure it hangs in there. And that's 1. And let me take it from this one. And here, this is 2 for this side. And we're going to tighten them in. just enough. Okay, oh, see? Obviously gotta make sure it's just enough, not too much, but not too little. All right, and it's in the right orientation. You want it to be oriented this way. Okay, so this is what happens next. You have the back roller. That's the front roller. The back roller. Even on both ends on this length when it comes to the rod. You can put the bearings on here. Doesn't help, why not? And then you literally put them in together. They're just gonna hit against the wall, so don't worry about that. It'll help you. It'll fit into the slots here, and boom. It'll be in place. Now, how do you put it on? This will already have your front gantry on it, so be very careful when you do this step. And this should be step number 17, I believe. Not 17. This would be step 18, rear tensioners. Okay. Now, let's go here. And let's just slide it onto the lower rail. 1 and 2. Oh, wait, this one's not aligned. Oh, means I tightened it wrong. Hold on a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay, make sure it's in the right orientation. Put this one in. And you want to line it up with the slots. It's raised, remember, it's kind of also a tensioner, but also a leg of the printer. So pretty much it'll be 10 millimeters off of the floor, or whatever you're sitting on, off the table. Why does this not want to sit right all of a sudden? There you go. No, it doesn't want to sit correctly. You know, when you assemble it, on my own, when I assemble these things, it doesn't give you that much issue, but that's just how it is. Whoa. You get to laugh right now at that part of the video. I'm going to put this back down. I'm going to loosen this a little bit too much because it was too tightened. Here we go. There you go. Okay, great. Now we'll try this again. Slowly. We don't want to break the part. Even though I reinforced it in all the different type of geometries we can. And even so, it came off. Wow, you have to endure this in the video. I at least have to endure it just once, but if you're replaying this video over, you got to do this multiple times. So I apologize for that. If you do, stop and play. Okay, you're just gonna align this on this side. Here we go, sits in. Now you're gonna let it go sit all the way to the end. And it'll sit flush with the top. Don't tighten the tension just yet. That's the last thing you wanna do. Just make sure your bearings are sitting in right. Make sure you're rolling correctly, very freely. You don't wanna be scratching the sides. Try to use the most of the bed in this scenario. And that's how it is. That's literally how these tensioners are sitting. You're gonna tighten it later, so don't worry about it. And that was number, let's see what number that was. That was number 18 on the list. Now we're gonna go to the front. Now the front is not as easy as the back, but let us make that a separate video.